The majority of the reviews on my channel are fan voted for on Twitter, and with a whopping 48% of the last vote, it's about time we dive into Undertale. Let's take a look. Undertale originally funded through Kickstarter with a goal of $5,000, ending its funding drive a month later at over $51,000 back in 2013. Now released on PC in 2015 and later came to Linux, PS4 and Switch by the end of 2018. Developed and released by Toby Fox, a one-man army of creativity. Seems familiar. It's been 5 years since it originally released, and sure, I'd heard of it, but I never gave it much attention or thought. Goes to show ignorance really is the folly of man. How did I miss such an incredible game? For those who don't know, Undertale is an RPG, but not really. You see, Undertale takes the bare bones of an RPG and fuses this with bullet hell turn-based combat, supplements this with an incredible cast of characters and stellar script work, which forces you to truly care about your actions, something very few games get to achieve. It's especially impressive over such a short runtime of approximately 3 hours. The story on face value seems straightforward. Humans and monsters used to rule the world before a war forced the monsters underground and were sealed away. Now you play as a human who falls into the underground and needs to find a way out, but it only really opens its depth upon completing the game. The sheer number of potential variances to the ending is staggering. A whopping 93 different endings are achievable. They follow 3 different paths: pacifist, neutral, or genocidal, and the main differences here are jaw-dropping. The story is presented through NPC conversations, cutscenes, flashbacks, and assorted interactables in the environment. Now this works exceptionally well to uncover the history of the world, the characters, their origins and motivations, and is truly engaging to seek out. Now what really helps drive this engagement is how hilarious it all is. The game opens and immediately begins to subvert your expectation with the genre. Even moving a rock is comical. It effectively sets the stage and doesn't let up on the physical, slapstick style, puntastic comedy routine until it finishes. I can't do it justice just how wonderful the scripting and pacing are in ensuring the moment-to-moment gameplay is laugh out loud funny. But when it needs to get serious, it hits with such ferocity that it leaves your jaw on the floor. Combat is something you'll be doing the vast majority of your time. However, calling it combat is actually painting the wrong picture. Enemy encounters is a more accurate term, as all enemies in the game can be spared. Now, this is achieved through the act menu, and you can talk your opponents into submission, befriending them, going on dates, and even taking part in exposing the greatest romance of our time. You can kill every enemy, and that's the way to level up, increasing your XP and getting more and more powerful, and it's your choice, but just be ready to face the consequences of your actions. My first playthrough, I didn't quite understand the potential of the act/mercy system, and made the fateful decision to kill Toriel right at the start. I then towed the line between saving or killing based purely on how disgusting the creature was. Now I'm all about flirting with a plane, but the second a jelly creature starts shaking its lumps at me, it's getting sent on a one-way ticket straight to hell. Now I saved all my main characters after Toriel, but it was too late. The damage was done. I felt the consequences of my mistake throughout, with conversations with Sans in particular really sticking the knife in. And sure, I killed random frogs, muscled seahorse creatures, and even turned my back on my plane lover and didn't feel a thing, but the second Toriel was mentioned, it cut deep. She just wanted me to have some cake and stay with her, and I cut her down. I was a monster, but I had my homie Papyrus to lift my spirits. And this dog shrine. Take my coins, you beautiful bastard. My second playthrough I atoned for my mistake and ensured I spared everyone, even the jellies. Now this is when the game truly opened up and I did everything that was available to me. Finding the secret lab and learning the origins of one particular character was absolutely awe-inspiring. The extra layers to the story that become clear through this path elevated an already incredible experience out of the stratosphere. and the ending boss fight and accompanying music in particular are worth the price of admission alone. Now this is where you'd expect me to say about my third playthrough, where I killed everyone, right? I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't. I felt horrible after ending Toriel, and she's nothing compared to the Mad Lad Papyrus. Now I've seen what happens on YouTube, it looks nuts, but I just can't deal with it right now. I've got to get home and cook dinner for Sunderplane, who's had a hard day at work. And I think that's the real credit here. A game which I've only spent 7 hours combined time with has caused such a deep emotional impact where I can't face killing the cast. To complement the combat encounters and exploration, you're treated to an outstanding musical score, which takes cues from classic 8-bit melodies of our childhood, and then adds a heavy dose of anime inspiration to elevate the climaxes to ridiculous levels of hype. There's really not much more I can gush about. The game is a masterpiece, and that's not something I throw around lightly. Thank you for voting for it. I can't express that enough. And if you're like me and haven't experienced this game, please go out and play it for yourself. You really won't regret it. Thank you for watching. I regularly take votes for different games I'm going to review over on my Twitter, so feel free to pop by and have your say at SSJdavey. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and put a like on the video if you enjoyed it. It all helps me tailor the content to what you guys want to see and really helps the channel out a lot. But anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you for your time and take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.